to come out to the game for Calendar Day. What better way to pass the year than with pictures of your favorite mascots, up to the night, and the Brooklyn Nets. To a safe and enjoyable sports experience. We therefore ask you to refrain from any disruptive behavior, such as fighting, throwing objects, using improper language or gestures, entering the court or interrupting play. Unnecessarily engaging in any such behavior are subject to ejection and possible arrest. Please report any violation of these rules to either an usher, security, or a staff member. Thank you, and enjoy the game. Still want to be a part of the Nets game day experience this upcoming season? Head to our website or your nearest ticket booth for more information on available tickets. At forward, 6'8", number 2.
It's Friday night, and live on 2K Sports, we're going to bring you the NBA in all its excitement. With Doris Berg, Greg Anthony, and Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And our special guest at the broadcast table for this one, the celebrated Shams Charania. Hey, Shams, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure. Well, Shams, obviously the big three in Brooklyn did not work out. But on the bright side, what a return they got for Kevin Durant. Checked in for Williams. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Armstrong's checked in.
Watch outside.
So for Chicago right now, the guard set is Giddey and White. Armstrong is out there with Vucevic. And it's Buzelis in at the 3 spot. To end the run, and Russell with the basket on the assist by Johnson. Russell's got 6.
To me, you've got to stay attached to D'Angelo Russell, especially when he's in those in-between areas.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Johnson, the pass to Watford. The three-pointer, no good. Chicago leading by 4. To the middle, White finds Vucevic. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
Vucevic knows who he is. This guy is a close scorer, a legit threat to finish it with authority.
Pass to Melton. Outside, Russell. Johnson with it. All right, Shams, I know you can't reveal all your secrets, but how do you develop relationships with your sources? The players, the agents, the GMs, the scouts all over the NBA.
It comes year after year. This has been something I've been doing for the better course of the last 15 years. So for me, it's about relationships, it's about daily communication, and making sure that I keep the trust, I keep the faith, and I keep a level of respect with everyone that I come across. Relationships are the name of the game, especially in the NBA.
Well, that's what I've heard about you. They trust you. So if they're going to confide, they know they can trust you. I would think that would be maybe the core of how you operate.
Trust and faith, and that develops early, not taking shortcuts. I'm very much for the long game.
Outside, Russell. Back to Melton. Pass to Johnson. And it's blocked. What a play as he just snatches the shot out of midair. .11 left to play in the first. And that one drops.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Nets. Down by 12. Now Melton. Sharp with a screen on White. To the inside. And they get it. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Patrick Williams, he's checked in for Buzelis. Kevin Huerter comes in for White. And Trey Jones subbed in for Josh Giddey. Johnson kicks to Russell. Pass to Wilson. The fadeaway. Rebound by Armstrong.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
11 seconds left here in the first quarter. Now Williams on the wing. Johnson. Martin for three. Nailed from three-point land. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Bulls lead by 10. And will return shortly. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
The offense firing on all cylinders. They dominated that first period.
That's exactly the start you want. You take complete command. Now you've got to maintain that focus.
So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group Billy Donovan has on the floor. Armstrong is out there with Kevin Huerter. Then it's Trey Jones. Then there's Zach Collins. And it's Dosunmu in at the shooting guard position. And Shams, I've always wondered, watching you, reading you, when did you first fall in love with the NBA? And when did you decide to cover it?
Really, when I was around 10, 11 years old, I grew up in Chicago right as the Bulls dynasty was starting. I wasn't quite old enough, but I was old enough to see some of those scrappy Bulls teams in the mid-2000s. And basketball was always a part of the national discourse, but also part of my life playing it, and then now being someone that's able to inform the audience and the public.
You know what? I'm looking up and down this table. I think we all feel the exact same way. Armstrong with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Trips down the breakaway slam.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Williams scanning the floor. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Watford. From outside, off the mark. Chicago leading by 12. Pass to Dosunmu. Shams for the Bulls. The overall approach has seemed to be steady as she goes. Stay in our lane. Business as usual. But do you think that'll continue?
And business has been good, Kevin. One of the best attendance rates in the league. But listen, this is a Bulls organization that has to figure out its right direction and see how they can continue to build and find a way to build from the ground up and reach new heights, whether it is going a more rebuilding route, more in the middle route, versus going and really taking big swings. I think this is an organization that is very much trying to find their direction.
Oh, you're kind of setting the table. A lot could happen with this team. Good stuff. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Hey, Kevin. Bulls coach Billy Donovan keeps perspective. He says, I used to come back from a tough road loss, go straight to the office and pull an all-nighter, trying to figure out what went wrong. My highs were too high and my lows were too low. You have to realize so much of it is just luck, the breaks of life. Kevin?
That's right, D.A. We respect Billy Donovan as much as any coach in the NBA. But a good outlook there, you're right. Hey, thank you. And the ball goes out of bounds. Pass touch by Claxton. You gotta love strong defense, especially when it comes in the form of harsh rejections. Wow.
Sharp instincts on D there. Just the timing. When to rise up and swat that one away.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Clowney's checked in, and it's Wilson in for Williams. And Chicago also making a switch. Horton Tucker's checked in. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. And Shams, nothing gets a workout like your phone. We're here, we're talking NBA, we're watching this game. We got this great group here at courtside. You've got 2 phones working, and I'm sure there's a third hidden in your bag. Can you estimate how many texts do you send and receive a day? Is there even a number we can put with that?
Kevin, how many texts do you get a day related to NBA info? You're coming at me. You know the job is, it's hundreds of messages flooding my phone on a daily basis, and the screen time usually in busy seasons tends to be closer to 18 to 20 hours, but this is what we sign up for. This is what we love, to inform the audience.
Oh, and I know you love every second of it. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Hurdle. Last season's performance for him. Last season put up about 10 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And what a luxury for them to have someone like him who can absolutely fill it up coming off the bench.
I love it. He knows they're looking for him to bring immediate offense, and he very rarely disappoints.
Bulls making a switch here. Buzelis is checked in for Collins. Dosunmu comes in for Kevin Huerter. Kobe White is checked in for Horton Tucker. And Josh Giddey subbed in for Trey Jones. Good on the bucket. Dosunmu's got 8 points.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat. I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Johnson outside. On the wing, Melton. Defended by Dosunmu. Just 5 on the clock. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Johnson can't get it to go. Shams, I am so sorry our time has run out. It has been great having you here with us. We appreciate your time so much, and I hope we do it again soon.
Thanks, Kevin. Anytime. You know when I'm not on my phone, I'm here to talk to you and talk hoops with you anytime of the day.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much again. KDB, wasn't that terrific talking to Shams? He is as plugged into everything around the NBA as anyone you could hope to meet.
A guy who's really in the know, and as somebody who prides themselves on doing research, boy, you have got to respect the legwork and the dedication he brings to the table.
And there's the drive. Pass to Buzelis. No good on the 3. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. Back to Johnson. They could use a bucket. And there is the whistle. That goes on Kobe White. That's his first foul. It's the Chicago Bulls sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And we'll be back with you shortly.
Welcome to this early season edition of the NBA on 2K Sports.
When I look at Brooklyn, you look at the standings, they're in the middle in the playoff projections. They're right there. Not world beaters, but they're not scrubs either.
And they seem to be trending in the right direction. It's still early to judge, but they could be. And turning back to our first half, things going well, extremely well for the Chicago Bulls.
We knew.
And that is a wrap.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Really an incredible game from T.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
A chance here to get a quick injury report.
Well, Kevin.
So for the Nets, Trendon Watford's checked in for Johnson. And it's Johnson in for DeAnthony Melton. Chicago also making some changes. Armstrong comes in for Kobe White, and Jones subbed in for Josh Giddey. Greg, you know this. Good coaches give their players confidence. But what's the balance there between affirmation and accountability?
Well, when you believe in a player, that also comes with expectations. So a coach has to boost them up and also demand that they deliver.
And again, no good by Brooklyn.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Vucevic with the bucket.
This guy is cooking right now. He is leading them on the offensive end as they remain in front here.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Jones against Russell. From the arc. It's good from long range. Blackbird's got his second basket of the night.
What you love about D'Angelo Russell, he can impact winning with both his scoring and his passing.
Here's Armstrong. Score that one for him. His 8th field goal. 8 for 11 on a very accurate night.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Johnson. Rebound by Armstrong. Armstrong's got 9 rebounds now tonight. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose and MVP, Jimmy Butler as well, but the results haven't been there.
Here's Johnson. Scoreless thus far. Here's the 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Armstrong's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Johnson over to help. Jones, no one around him. Drains the three-pointer. And it's a 9-point Bulls lead.
Such a reliable threat from range. You'd think the defense might key on him a little bit more.
Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Pass to Sharp. Johnson with it. Fires the 3. Another miss by Johnson.
And they continue to control the glass.
Armstrong with it. 19 points in the game. And he's good on the 3-ball.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
And so it's Chicago, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. We've got more in store for you right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard. Put the pass right on the money.
He's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group that Billy Donovan has on the floor. Jones is out there with Kevin Huerter. Then it's Ball. Then there's Armstrong. And it's Collins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Pass to Claxton. Now Watford. Rebound by Armstrong.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Ball dishes to Armstrong. Basket good. Armstrong's got 9 points here in the second half.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Knocked loose. Huerter with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Pass to Armstrong. And Jones has it in the corner. Armstrong against Claxton. back to Jones. 5 on the clock. The fader. Brooklyn with the rebound. Well, Greg, they're looking to make some big stops here to halt this rally.
And luckily, time is on their side, but this is on them. They need to play smart here.
He took what the defense was giving him that time. There was nobody on him on the three-point shot. Boy, don't give him the lights out.
Here's Armstrong.
You got to be kidding.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. And T is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Greg, we've heard some veteran players and coaches say the league is skewing. Too young.
Well, because of the salary cap, you're often forced to play some younger guys, and they don't quite have a feel for the game yet. So possibly the product suffers, but it also gives you a chance to develop these young players in your system.
Into the lane. Count it. Armstrong's got 30 points.
Well, you love that they've been able to rely on him time. And time again. You love the effort here late.
Johnson outside. And again, no good by Brooklyn. The Bulls leading by 17. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Armstrong. And that comes off the assist by Jones. 32 points for T.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
To the paint, here's Johnson. Banked in off the glass. 14 points for Johnson.
You can see when Cameron Johnson gets his rhythm, he is so effective on the offensive end.
Herter passes to Armstrong. Outside Collins. Here is Armstrong. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
First personal foul.
And not too long ago, Doris, there were such high hopes for the Nets' future.
I mean, think about it, Kevin. A few years back, people were talking about Brooklyn being a dynasty in the making. They were loaded with talent. And for a lot of reasons, it fell apart pretty quickly. How fine is that line between success and failure in the league? Incredible.
And he knocks down the first one. The recent history of the Nets. You know, Greg, they're always looking for a big splash or a quick fix to be competitive.
And Kevin, this franchise has sold its future more than a few times, but they always find a way to bounce back. You hope they don't go for a quick fix with this group.
Pass to Russell. And here's Sharp. The 3. It's rebounded by Giddey. Giddey's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. White the pass to Armstrong. Shoots the 3. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Stolen. Armstrong gets the bucket. Armstrong's got 36. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
I like their defense tonight, and we don't talk about that side of the ball enough. You can really change a game when you get a bunch of steals and get out in transition.
And you also have to love the way they've gotten out and run in transition. A ton of good chances tonight simply from being willing to run the floor.
In the league, trying to get a bit more competition in the All-Star game. Right? You got any ideas there?
Well, cash prizes seem to work well for the in-season tournament. Even a little something might help up the ante just a bit. And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Bulls.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for T.
Boy, I think he made his presence felt in the paint more than anywhere else. This guy's rebounding numbers were outstanding. He controlled the glass.
Woo! Let it go, baby.
1:07 left in the fourth quarter. And here is Johnson. Pass to Claxton. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Watford. 6 on the shot clock. And slam dunk by Watford. There's 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Inside. Fires from deep. And he hits the triple. 3 points there in the shot from Armstrong. Armstrong's got 42 in the game. Outside Wilson. Pass to Johnson. Off target at the rim. Chicago with the ball. They're on a 16-7 run. Herter finds Jones. Here's Armstrong. And the rejection by Claxton. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here.
On the court.
Here's Armstrong. And another miss by Chicago. Now here's Melton. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.
MP got the job done tonight, as usual.
So how you feeling about your recent play?
Not gonna lie, Coach, I feel pretty good.
So do we, which is why we think you're ready to run with the starters.
Coach, you playing with me? Oh my gosh, that's great. I've been looking forward to this opportunity.
Now, remember when I told you this is a big boy league, MP?
Mm-hmm.
When the coaches make a move like this, it puts us in the crosshairs. It puts Cliff in the crosshairs, too, because the buck stops with the general manager.
Well, like you said, this is a grown man's league, and if you can't handle that pressure, then you ain't gonna make it that far.
Glad we are understood.
Loud and clear, Coach.
It's time to prove you belong, MP. Good luck.
What's up, everybody? I see MP's made his way into the starting lineup. That's good for him, his team, the fans, everybody.